God says, "Your mother who passed away has been trying to tell you something very shocking. She is closer than you think, and this is her final message. Don't skip her. She is begging you to listen to her." There are moments when the Spirit cries louder than the noise of this world, and right now, that cry is reaching you. It is not coming from the wind or from an echo of the past. It is coming from a place far beyond what the eyes can see, but closer than your own breath. Your mother, the one who once held you, prayed over you, and wept in secret for you, is near. She is not lost. She is not gone. She is in the presence of God, and from that holy place she is speaking, yearning, calling your name softly with an urgency that only heaven can carry. Before anything else, I need to ask you something gentle and simple. If this is already stirring something deep inside you, just type Amen in the comments. That little word may be your way of unlocking something waiting in the unseen. And if this message touches your heart in the next few seconds, please like this video, because someone else you love may need to hear this too. Your mother's final message isn't one of fear or sorrow, but one of trembling love and divine purpose. She has seen things you cannot imagine. From her place of peace, she is now allowed to send you something meant to heal your soul and open your heart to what you've forgotten. She is not speaking from pain. She is speaking from revelation. She is not lost in the past. She is walking beside you in the spiritual, allowed by God's mercy to whisper this one thing to you, not for her sake, but for yours. This is not about memories or dreams. This is about heaven reaching down to shake you gently, because there is something God needs you to hear. When someone leaves this earth in the arms of God, their spirit doesn't simply vanish. They become part of His divine mystery, and when it pleases Him, He lets their voice echo with holy purpose. This is that moment. Your mother is closer than you think. She sees your tears at night, those quiet ones you hide from the world. She knows the heaviness in your chest that you pretend isn't there. And her spirit, in full submission to God, is speaking through this moment so you don't walk blind for one more day. She is begging you not to ignore this. You have been crying out in silence for answers, for signs, for some kind of direction, and God in His perfect love is answering through her. This is not a coincidence. This is divine alignment. Her final message is wrapped in urgency because she knows what's at stake. There's something you're walking toward, something approaching in your life, and if you miss this, you may miss the shift that heaven has been preparing for you all along. She sees what you're about to face. She sees the burdens you carry. She sees the decisions you're struggling to make, and with every ounce of love she ever had for you, now magnified in the light of eternity, she is pleading through this message. Don't look away. Don't scroll past. She is closer than you think, and this moment is not about the past. This is about your future. She has seen what is coming, and she wants you to be covered. She wants you to be led by God, protected by the blood of Jesus, wrapped in the armor of light. She knows there are things ahead that can only be endured with heaven's help. There is something she tried to tell you while she was alive, but maybe the words were never enough, or the moment never came. Maybe life got in the way. But now, God in His mercy is letting her say what she never could. And it's more than words. It's a cry from a soul that is now fully alive in God's presence. She's saying, "You are not alone. You have never been alone. Even when you didn't hear my prayers, I prayed. Even when you felt forgotten, I never forgot you. And now I see clearly. I see what you cannot. I see what the enemy has tried to build around you. But I also see the hand of God reaching still. God is moving right now, not because you earned it, but because you are chosen. You are still wrapped in His purpose, even though you've doubted it. You are still protected, even though you've walked through valleys. You are still favored, even when life has felt anything but fair. Your mother sees the heavenly war for your destiny, and this is her final message to remind you that God has not forgotten the promises over your life. Not one of them has expired. If you believe this, type 1111 in the comments to mark this moment in faith. Something is shifting already. This message may feel too personal, too real, too timely, and that's because it is. The Spirit of God is touching your heart right now, warming the deepest places of grief and loneliness and shame, and breathing hope where you thought nothing could live again. The heaviness you've been carrying is not yours to hold anymore. Your mother is pointing you back to the one who held her in her final breath and who has never let go of you for a single moment. She sees the pain you've hidden so well from others. She knows how tired your soul has become. She knows the nights when you felt like giving up quietly, the mornings when you forced yourself to keep going without a single drop of strength left. And through all of that, her heart has cried out to God on your behalf, and now God is answering. Not with loud noise, not with thunder, but with a quiet and holy whisper that says, "Come back. Come close. Let me carry you now." Heaven is not silent. Your name is being spoken there. This is not superstition. This is the movement of a God who sees, who heals, who restores, and who uses even the voice of the departed to remind you that you are still seen, still wanted, still held. Your mother's message is wrapped in eternity's truth, and it is simple. Return to God. Listen to His voice. Do not ignore His calling. Let go of the fear that has gripped you. Let go of the guilt that has chained you. There is nothing you've done that God cannot redeem. There is no part of your story that He cannot make beautiful. Could this 7-second CIA brainwave trick be your fastest path to luxury? Leaked research reveals a simple ritual helping people attract wealth effortlessly. Proven by 4 neuroscience labs, debt is dissolving and abundance is showing up fast. If you're seeing this now, you are God's chosen one. Click the link in the comments before it disappears. Your mother is closer than you think. She is standing in the presence of the one who died and rose again so that you would never be lost. Her words are not her own. They are bathed in light, soaked in divine mercy, and carried by the Spirit of God. Her message is not about death, it is about life, eternal life, true life, a life in Christ, full of grace and strength and healing, not as a ghost, not as a shadow, but as a whisper that travels through God's grace, reaching you with purpose and truth. Her final message is not just a passing word, it is a divine assignment. It carries the weight of love eternal and the clarity only God can give to the ones who now see fully, face to face. Your mother has not come to disturb you, but to awaken something sacred that has been asleep in your heart for far too long. There are promises over your life that you've forgotten. There are dreams God placed within you that you've buried deep under pain, fear, and survival. She sees the light in you still. That light was never put out. It has only been dimmed by the battles you've endured. And now, in a holy moment such as this, God is allowing her to reach across the veil and remind you that you were never meant to live in the ashes. You were made for the fire of His glory. There were moments when she sat in silence, praying words you never heard, crying tears you never saw. She carried burdens for you that she never spoke aloud, because her heart was always tied to yours. That love, sanctified now by God's perfection, is still reaching for you. She doesn't want you to stay stuck in grief, in regret, or in guilt. This message is not about what was lost, it is about what can still be found. She is closer than you think, and she is begging you to return your heart to the one who never stopped waiting. God sees how you've been trying to hold yourself together while silently falling apart inside. He sees the strength you force every day just to get by, the questions you never voice because you've learned how to survive in silence. Your mother knows that kind of pain now from the other side, and in her new sight, she is crying out for you to realize that you are not meant to carry any of it alone. God has been holding out his hand through every single storm, and now he is using her voice to reach you one more time. There is a reason this message found you at this exact hour. It is not just encouragement, it is intervention. It is heaven stepping into your ordinary, reminding you that the unseen world is far more real than what you see with your eyes. Your mother is speaking not because she is unfinished, but because you are. You still have things to walk through, you still have healing to receive, you still have prayers to answer, promises to fulfill, and a destiny to walk in. And she wants nothing more than for you to do it hand in hand with God. If you feel the depth of this truth touching your heart, take a moment to comment 222 as a quiet act of faith and trust. Let it be your silent yes to what God is already doing inside you. She remembers every moment you smiled, every time you laughed without knowing it healed her, every hug, every glance, every time you spoke her name with love. And now, she wants you to remember something even greater. She wants you to remember who you are in the eyes of God. Not broken, not forgotten, not unworthy. You are his beloved. You are his child. And no matter how far you've drifted, how long you've wandered, how heavy your past may feel, he has never turned his face away from you. There's a reason you're still here. There's a reason you're still breathing. The enemy has tried to destroy your spirit so many times, and you've made it through things that should have taken you out. That's not because of luck. That's not because you're strong. That is the hand of God, covering you even when you didn't know it. That is your mother's prayers echoing in God's ears long before this moment arrived. And now, she's standing in glory, seeing you with heaven's eyes and urging you not to waste another day living beneath your calling. You are chosen, not by people, not by circumstance, but by the same God who formed you in the secret place, who watched over you when no one else saw the danger, who kept your soul safe, even through darkness you never told anyone about. That God is speaking through the love of your mother because there is still time to return. There is still time to heal. There is still time to walk boldly into the life he designed for you, free from shame, free from fear, full of peace and power and purpose. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to fix everything overnight. You just need to come as you are. Let God take the rest. Let your mother's final message be the gentle voice that pulls you back to your knees in surrender, not in defeat, but in holy restoration. She sees the angels around you even now. She sees the protection that has surrounded your life without your awareness. She sees the plans the enemy had for you, and how God has crushed them time and time again, all because of his covenant with you. Your heart may feel worn out. You may feel like you've failed too many times, but heaven does not see you through the lens of your failures. Heaven sees you through the blood of Jesus, washed, clean, redeemed. And your mother's voice, full of love and urgency, is saying, "Please don't miss this. Please come back to the one who loves you more than I ever could. Let him hold you now. This is sacred. This is not just a message. It is a calling, a divine invitation. You are being pursued by love that is eternal, love that went to the cross for you, love that now speaks through the veil to pull you from the edge of despair and into the arms of the Father who has never stopped longing for you." What's really behind the 7-second brain trick exploding online? A leaked CIA ritual is turning heads and bank balances. Backed by neuroscience labs, this at-home method removes money blocks, and unlocks unstoppable wealth flow, but the page could vanish anytime. Click the link in the first comment before it's permanently deleted. She is closer than you think. Her presence, allowed by God, is surrounding you with peace as you open your heart. And through her, God is reminding you that it's not too late. You haven't missed your moment. There is still beauty waiting for you. There is still joy ahead. There is still healing that will break every chain. She is not trying to pull you into sorrow, but into clarity. She wants you to see what she now sees so clearly, that this world is not the end, and the pain you carry is not the full story. She is begging you to awaken to the truth that heaven has always been speaking over your life. The pain you endured didn't break you, it prepared you. Your mother knows how hard it has been for you to keep going when so much of you felt like stopping. There were nights when the silence around you felt heavier than your thoughts, and the only thing that kept you standing was the faint memory of her love. She knows. She saw it. And now, from the presence of God, she has been permitted to send you this one final message. Because the time is now, God is shifting something over your life, and she doesn't want you to miss it. This is not about superstition. This is not about trying to hold on to what has passed. This is about God's holy timing, His divine intervention, and His power to use even those who have gone before us to whisper one last word of redemption, direction, and comfort. She is closer than you think, because God is closer than you know. She walks in the light of the King now, and through that light, her voice comes wrapped in peace, urging you to let go of what's been keeping your heart locked away. You've spent too long carrying the weight of unfinished goodbyes, of unanswered prayers, of moments you wish you could have changed. But your mother sees now what she couldn't fully see before, that none of it was wasted. Even your heartbreaks are being used by God. Even the parts of your life that feel like a mess have been written into something that heaven calls precious. She is telling you now, from a place of complete freedom, that your story is not over. You are not forgotten. You are not disqualified. In fact, you are standing at the edge of something so holy, so transforming, and this moment is the beginning of a new chapter if you'll let God take you by the hand. This is what she longs for. Not for you to stay in grief, not for you to replay old regrets, but for you to surrender your heart again to the only one who can heal you completely. Your mother's voice carries no pain now, only peace, and that peace is what she wants for you too. You may think your wounds are too deep, your path too far gone, but heaven knows better. Your mother knows better. She sees the angels that surround your home. She sees the battles you've fought in silence. She knows the spiritual warfare that's tried to steal your joy, rob your peace, and silence your faith. But God has not allowed it. He has preserved your soul through the fire, and now He is calling you out of the ashes. She is saying, please don't walk away from this. This is your moment. This is your time. You've heard her in dreams, you've felt her in stillness, and now you hear her in this message, because God allowed it for your healing, not for your fear. She is not lost, she is with Him. And because of that, she carries a love more powerful than ever before, one that sees your entire life through the lens of heaven and pleads for your heart to return to peace. If this is speaking to something deep inside you, something you don't even know how to explain, write 333 in the comments as a way to declare your faith is still alive, even if it's trembling. God honors even the smallest ember. You've spent enough time hiding your pain, enough time pretending to be okay, enough time wondering why you still feel broken even though life keeps moving on. Your mother is trying to tell you this because she knows what you need most right now is not more strength, not more solutions, but more surrender. Let God carry you. Let Him pour His presence over your weary heart and restore the parts of you that have been aching for years. She is closer than you think because the love of a mother, once sanctified by the presence of God, does not fade. It transcends time. It carries weight in the Spirit. It moves with grace, speaks with the authority of love, and it points you back to the heart of the Father. Every tear you've cried has been seen. Every silent prayer you've whispered has been heard. Every time you almost gave up, heaven stood beside you. Your mother has not forgotten you. She intercedes with the saints now, lifting your name with purity and fire before the throne of God. And that's why this moment is happening. She is not just watching over you. She is praying that you receive everything heaven has written for you. She wants to see you free. She wants to see you healed. She wants to see you walking in the fullness of God's joy and protection. There's something coming, something God has prepared for you that is going to change everything. But your heart must be open. Your spirit must be ready. Your soul must be willing. She sees it from where she stands, a new beginning, a breakthrough, a moment of clarity that you've been waiting for without even knowing it. And she is speaking this to you with a holy urgency, not to pressure you, but to protect you. The secret ritual they never wanted public is finally out. A 7-second brain technique, backed by leaked CIA data and 4 neuroscience labs, is helping families erase debt and attract money on autopilot. But this miracle won't stay public long. Click the link in the description and comments now, before it's gone forever. Don't ignore what you feel right now. Don't push it away or explain it away. This is sacred. This is God. This is the voice of heaven reaching for you with tenderness, with fire, with unstoppable love. Let Him speak. Let Him move. Let your mother's final message become the beginning of your greatest healing. The peace you long for is not far away. It's right here, in this moment, in the soft cry of her voice, filled with God's grace, asking you to trust, to believe, and to return. This is your time. This is your turning. This is the moment that everything can shift. That's not by chance. That's the Spirit of God breathing gently over your spirit, and your mother's voice, so full of love and now full of eternal clarity, is echoing through that wind, whispering that you are stronger than you know because you are not walking alone. She has watched over you, not from a place of distance, but from a place of intercession. She has seen your journey, not with judgment, but with compassion. And now she is allowed, for this divine moment, to send this final message, a message full of truth, not coated in religious words, but soaked in mercy, clothed in heaven's warmth. Her heart still beats in your memory, but her voice is now wrapped in light. And what she wants you to know more than anything else is this: God has not changed His mind about you. You might feel like you've made too many mistakes, wasted too much time, walked too far, or become too numb, but your mother sees what you cannot, that God is still calling you by name, that His grace has been waiting at the edge of your doubt, never walking away, never giving up, never once letting go of the promise He placed inside of you long before you were even born. She is trying to tell you that it's not too late to become everything God designed you to be. You've held so much inside, haven't you? The world doesn't know the full story. People have seen your smile, your strength, your survival, but they have not seen the silent ache, the private grief, the moments you've fallen apart in a room where no one else could hear. But heaven has heard it all. And your mother has seen you from glory's side, and her love for you has only grown more powerful in the light of God's perfect presence. That's why this message carries such weight. It's not from the past, it's from eternity, and it's for right now. You have been protected, even when you thought you were forgotten. You have been guided, even when you felt lost. You have been covered, even when you didn't feel worthy. That's what your mother sees now, the faithfulness of a God who never took his eyes off you. She's speaking because she wants you to stop running from your healing. She wants you to stop numbing the pain. She wants you to stop surviving and start living again. Not in your own strength, but in the power of the one who can restore what was broken and bring beauty from what felt destroyed. She knows the grief you've carried since she left. She knows how hard it's been to smile sometimes. She knows how confusing the silence has been. But she's asking you now to believe that her absence was not the end of her love. That love is still active, still alive, still reaching you with every breath God gives you. And in this sacred moment, she wants you to lean into God, not away, to draw near, not shrink back, to finally receive what your soul has been longing for: peace, real peace, the kind that only Jesus can give. If your heart feels open, if you're beginning to believe again, write 555 in the comments. Let that be your quiet step of faith, your way of saying, I trust you, God, even if I don't understand everything. You don't need to fix yourself before you come back to God. You don't need to have the right words. You don't need to pretend to be strong. He's not asking for your perfection. He's asking for your presence. He's asking for your willingness. He's asking for your heart, just as it is. And your mother's final message is not to pressure you, it's to remind you. To remind you that you were always meant to walk with God, always meant to know His voice, always meant to live wrapped in His arms. This world has hardened so many hearts. Pain has silenced so many dreams. Disappointment has left so many wandering. But you, precious soul, have been pursued by God since your first breath, and now He's using your mother's voice to say what your heart needed to hear all along: come home. Come back to the place where healing begins. Come back to the one who made you, who loves you, who calls you His child. Your mother remembers the sound of your voice, the sparkle in your eyes, the way your laugh could fill a room. And now she sees you not in your struggle, but in your potential. She sees the calling on your life, the anointing you've barely tapped into, the strength inside of you that is far greater than the wounds you've carried. She sees you through the eyes of heaven, and her voice is filled with hope. She is not weeping over you. She is cheering you on. She is believing that this will be the moment you stop looking back and start moving forward with God by your side. Don't waste another day letting shame talk louder than grace. Don't keep living as if your life doesn't matter. Your presence here is not an accident. Your pain is not wasted. Your journey is not random. God has been writing a story with your life, and every chapter, even the hard ones, has purpose. Your mother knows this now. She wants you to know it too. Is this leaked CIA ritual the missing key to your financial breakthrough? A once-hidden brain ritual is spreading fast. This strange 7-second method, confirmed by elite neuroscience labs, activates your brain's wealth magnet. The government may shut this down. If you're seeing this, you are God's chosen child. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted. You are still chosen, you are still seen, you are still loved beyond words. And your healing does not begin in the absence of pain, it begins in the presence of God. Let Him in. Let Him be the one who restores what you thought could never be restored. Let Him be the voice that replaces the noise of fear. Let Him be your peace. Her final message is not just a goodbye. It is a call to live fully, freely, joyfully in the arms of your Creator. And even though her body is gone, her love has not left you. She is closer than you think, and so is God. He is near to the brokenhearted. He binds up wounds no one else can see. He brings light to the places that have sat in darkness for far too long. Let this be the moment you choose to believe again. Let it be the moment you choose to hope again. Let it be the moment you let go of guilt and shame and regret and hold on to grace, to mercy, to the promise that you are never alone. You have been carried by prayers you didn't even know were prayed for you. And right now, God is wrapping you in a love that will never let you go. Her voice in this final message is not just a whisper of love. It is a cry from eternity, pleading for you to remember who you are, and more importantly, whose you are. You belong to the one who knit you together before your first breath. You belong to the one who called you his own even in your lowest moments. You belong to the one who sees every part of you and still chooses you. And right now, through the mercy of his Spirit, he is letting your mother's love echo from heaven to say, don't forget the call on your life. Don't forget the destiny written into your soul. Don't forget the protection that's followed you even in places you shouldn't have made it out of. She's watched you question your worth. She's seen you settle for less because the world tried to convince you that you were not enough. But her voice is now full of truth, and it's crying out for you to rise above that lie. God never asked you to be perfect. He only asked you to be present. He only asked you to believe that he is who he says he is, your refuge, your strength, your father, your healer, your deliverer, your covering in the storm. You have been through valleys that felt like they would never end. You've walked through grief like fog, barely seeing what's in front of you, just trying to survive another day. And still, here you are, not because life has been kind, but because God has been faithful. Your mother sees that now with such overwhelming gratitude that even when you didn't know it, God was still fighting for you. She is closer than you think, and she is not here to haunt you with memories or weigh you down with the past. She is here because God has allowed her to bring a message that breaks chains. She is here because this moment carries eternity in it. There is something sacred happening right now in your heart, and your mother's presence, full of peace and grace, is here to help usher it in. She doesn't want to see you continue in silent battles. She wants to see you healed. She wants to see you walking in the light that God has been shining toward your path. Heaven doesn't see you as broken beyond repair. Heaven sees you as the beloved child of God, still breathing because your purpose is not finished. Every day you wake up is proof that God is not done. Your story isn't over, no matter how heavy it feels. Your mother is reminding you of this truth because she knows the freedom that's waiting for you. She sees the victory that's already written in your future. She sees the battles you've already overcome, even the ones that felt like defeats. There were moments in your life where you thought you were abandoned, but heaven was standing closer than ever. There were times you wept and no one came, but your tears were collected by the one who never sleeps. Your mother watched over you in those moments, allowed by God's grace, and her heart was breaking for the pain you carried. But now, from a place of peace and perfect love, she is saying this with urgency. You don't have to carry it anymore. Lay it down, give it to God, let Him take what you were never meant to hold alone. If this is speaking to you, if your heart is being stirred even quietly, just type 1212 in the comments. Not because it's a ritual, but because it's a sign that you're opening your heart to the voice of God, to the comfort of your mother's final message. This is not just about healing from the past. It's about stepping into your future with the assurance that heaven is behind you. It's about knowing that the same God who walked with your mother through every season of her life is walking with you now. The same God who received her in her last breath is standing beside you in this very moment, whispering that there's still time, there's still grace, there's still beauty ahead. You may not have had the chance to say everything you wanted to say before she left. You may still carry words you never got to speak, hugs you never got to give, apologies you never got to make. But she wants you to know none of that was wasted. Love was felt, forgiveness has been given, Peace is already covering what was unfinished. God is filling the gaps. He is healing the wounds time couldn't touch. And your mother in her final message is asking you not to hold on to guilt. Let it go. She sees clearly now, and all she wants is your freedom. She wants to see you smile again. Not the kind you put on for others, but the kind that comes from deep healing. She wants to see your spirit come alive again, not just functioning, but thriving in the presence of God. She wants to see your faith restored, your joy rebuilt, your heart made whole in the hands of the one who never stopped loving you. What if 7 seconds is all it takes to flip your financial fate? A shocking CIA leak just exposed a hidden brain ritual helping ordinary people erase debt and pull in massive wealth. Backed by 4 neuroscience labs, this at-home method is turning struggle into luxury fast. But this page could be erased any moment. Click the link in the first comment now before it's gone forever. You don't have to climb out of this alone. God is with you, right now. He has been waiting for you to open the door again. Your mother's voice is just the knock. The invitation is His. And the love you're feeling in this moment is not just memory, it's the real, living presence of the Holy Spirit, covering you like a blanket, softening the places that went cold, reviving the places that went numb. There's a purpose on your life that cannot be cancelled by pain. There's a light in your soul that can't be dimmed by darkness. There's a calling over your days that no loss, no grief, no failure can take away. Your mother sees that now. She's cheering for you from the place where all things are made new. And she is asking you with all her love, please don't give up. Please don't stay stuck. Please don't let this world convince you that it's too late. The voice of your mother, tender and full of light, has been allowed to reach through the veil to speak what you've needed to hear for so long, not to open old wounds, but to finally heal them. Not to bring sorrow, but to awaken hope where it had almost died. Your mother's message is a bridge not between life and death, but between despair and healing. It is a divine echo meant to carry you from the edge of silence into the embrace of your Heavenly Father. She is not speaking as the woman you remember in her final moments. She is speaking now in fullness, in joy, in glory, where there is no pain, no regret, no fear. And from that place, her voice carries only one thing, pure love, soaked in the presence of God, and urgent to reach you now before the weight of the world tries to drown out what heaven is trying to do in your life. She knows you've been surviving. She knows you've been pushing through, doing your best to stay strong for everyone else. But she also knows what it feels like to break behind closed doors, to carry a storm inside your chest, to wonder if things will ever feel whole again. That's why this moment matters so much. She doesn't want you to keep pushing through. She wants you to let go, to let God, to let healing begin, not tomorrow, not someday, but now. You don't have to keep wearing the mask. You don't have to keep pretending that you're fine when your soul has been silently crying for something deeper. God sees you. Your mother sees you. Heaven is not blind to your battles. And this final message is not just a comfort, it's a calling, a holy invitation to come back into alignment with the truth that you are chosen, loved, covered, and destined for more than just survival. Every time you feel that sudden wave of emotion, every time you sense a peace that doesn't make sense, that is not your imagination, that is the presence of God breaking through. And your mother, allowed by the mercy of the Father, is helping to carry that presence to your doorstep. She knows what you've endured. She sees the weight on your shoulders. And with a voice full of heaven's power, she is telling you you were never forgotten. There were times when you questioned if you mattered, times when you thought your voice was too small to be heard, times when you believed the lie that your life didn't hold meaning. But your mother sees now with the eyes of eternity, and she wants you to know this with all her heart. Your existence is part of a plan far greater than your pain. Your life is wrapped in divine design, and no amount of failure, no depth of sorrow, no weight of loss can erase what God has placed inside you. If something deep inside you is beginning to believe this, take a small step of faith and comment 777. Let it be your way of saying, I believe there is more for me. Heaven honors even the smallest yes. You see, your mother's final message isn't just a farewell. It is a key, a holy key, opening a door that's been closed by years of grief, fear, disappointment, and exhaustion. It is a key that unlocks the truth of who you really are, a child of God, redeemed and protected, wrapped in purpose, and covered by prayers you didn't even know were still working. Prayers she once whispered over your sleeping form. Prayers she cried when you were hurting. And now, those same prayers are blooming in the atmosphere around you. There's something about the love of a mother that never dies. And when that love is perfected in heaven, it becomes something more than memory. It becomes intercession. Your mother is not gone. She is with God. And from His presence, she is interceding for you, hoping with everything in her that you will hear this and let your life begin again. She doesn't want you stuck in what could have been. She doesn't want you stuck in old questions, regrets, or sorrow. She wants you to rise. She wants you to remember the parts of you that once believed, once dreamed, once prayed with fire. You've dimmed your light because the world made you feel too much, too different, too broken. But your light is still there, and she sees it. It's time to shine again, not with pressure, but with peace. Not for others, but for your own healing, for your own freedom. God is not asking you to fix everything. He's asking you to surrender. He's asking you to trust, to let Him do what only He can do. Your mother's message is the invitation, but the miracle begins when your heart says yes, and you don't need perfect faith, you just need a little willingness, a little space in your heart for God to move. That's all it takes. A crack in the wall, a small tear in the veil, and His love will flood in like water, cleansing, renewing, restoring what life tried to destroy. You've been through storms that should have taken you out. You've survived things no one knows about, and yet here you are, still breathing, still standing. That's not weakness. That's evidence. Proof that God has never left your side. Proof that your mother's love has been covering you in ways beyond your understanding. She wants you to know that your survival is not the end, it's the beginning. Now is the time to live again. Now is the time to let God write the next chapter, the one filled with peace, purpose, and healing. People are asking why money is suddenly flowing into random lives. A leaked CIA discovery reveals a 7-second brain ritual that quietly rewires your mind for wealth. Proven by 4 neuroscience labs, people are wiping out debt and stepping into luxury with ease. If you're seeing this, you're very lucky. Click the link in the description and comments before it disappears. She is closer than you think, closer in spirit, closer in love, closer through the presence of the God who binds us together in ways no death can undo. And if you listen closely, not with your ears but with your heart, you'll hear her. Not in words alone, but in that sudden peace that floods your chest, in that tear that falls without warning, in the quiet sense that you are not alone, even in your loneliest moment. God is with you. Your mother's prayers are still alive. Her final message has now been delivered. But what happens next is up to you. Will you receive the healing that's being offered? Will you open your heart to the love that's still reaching for you? You don't need to figure it all out. You just need to take one step, one breath, one moment of surrender. She has been waiting, in full surrender to the will of God, for the right time to say what needed to be said, not to bind you to the past, but to free you for what is ahead, not to haunt you with sorrow, but to heal you with truth. Every part of you that has been questioning, doubting, shrinking under the weight of what you carry is seen by God. He is not waiting for you to be stronger. He is not asking you to figure it all out. He is drawing you back to Him with tenderness and love that you may have forgotten but never lost. And now, through your mother's final message, He is whispering into the places you've locked shut for too long. Your mother sees it all now. She sees how many times you pretended to be okay when you were breaking inside. She sees the dreams you buried out of fear, the joy you silenced out of survival. And she's not watching with pity, she's speaking with urgency. Not the kind that causes panic, but the kind that carries the holy weight of knowing how much you are still meant to become. The kind of urgency that sees your future and aches for you to reach it whole, healed and held by God. She is closer than you think. Not bound by the limitations of this world, not stuck in memory or shadow, but near in spirit through the grace of a loving God who allows such closeness not for fear's sake, but for love's sake. And her message is clear. It's time to let go of what is breaking you. It's time to lay down the sorrow, the guilt, the pressure. It's time to stop trying to hold it all together on your own. You were never meant to do this without God. Her voice carries the peace of heaven, and it's speaking life into your soul. Not in loud declarations, but in gentle, consistent truth. She wants you to forgive yourself. She wants you to breathe without heaviness again. She wants you to rest in the truth that you are loved deeply, completely, without condition. She knows now, more than ever, that the love of God is not based on your performance, but on your identity as His child. And that's the message she's been waiting to tell you, that nothing can separate you from His love. You've cried tears in silence that no one saw. You've faced storms that no one knew about. And through it all, God kept you. You may have thought you made it on your own, but your mother knows it was His grace all along. It was His mercy that stepped in when you didn't even know you needed saving. And now, through her final words, He's reminding you again, you are still His. Nothing has disqualified you. Nothing has removed His hand from your life. You've walked through seasons that left you numb. You've looked in the mirror and wondered if the person staring back still had anything left to offer. But your mother sees your spirit, not your weariness. She sees the fire in you that God planted long before the world tried to put it out. She sees the softness that you've buried to protect yourself, the tenderness you've hidden behind strength. And she wants you to know that softness is not weakness, that tenderness is not a flaw. It's part of your calling. If these words are reaching something deep in you, if you feel even a small pull toward what you're hearing, let your faith rise and type 999 in the comments. Not as a routine, but as a quiet act of agreement with what God is doing inside you right now. This message is more than comfort. It's more than memory. It is a holy shift, a divine interruption, a breaking of what has kept you bound so you can walk freely into the peace God has been holding for you. Your mother's love is wrapped in it, but it is God's Spirit carrying it. And the only thing required from you is to say yes. A quiet yes, a trembling yes, but a yes all the same. She is not asking you to be someone you're not. She is asking you to remember who you've always been beneath the noise and the pain. She is not pointing out your failures. She is pointing you to the cross, where every failure is erased and every wound is made whole. She is not leading you into guilt. She is leading you into grace, into mercy, into healing. That doesn't explain everything but gives you the strength to rise anyway. You have spent enough time in the shadows of shame. You have walked too long with your head down. Lift your eyes. Heaven is still writing your story. Your mother sees the next chapter, and she's crying out with joy because of what God is preparing. It's beautiful. It's more than you imagined. And it's yours if you'll just keep walking toward Him, one step at a time. Let this moment be your turning point. Let this message be your reminder that you are not forgotten, that heaven knows your name, that your mother's love was not left behind in the past, but carried into eternity, where it now surrounds you with prayers stronger than ever. She is not gone from your story. She is part of the cloud of witnesses, watching with hope, praying with power, and urging you to believe again. Why is everyone rushing to this 7-second brain ritual? Leaked CIA files exposed a hidden brainwave technique that opens the door to wealth fast. Verified by 4 top neuroscience labs, it's turning financial stress into abundance almost overnight. But this secret won't stay public for long. Click the link in the pinned comments before it's deleted forever. This is not about a goodbye, this is about a beginning, a holy beginning. A fresh breath from the Spirit of God. Your soul doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to be open, so let it open. Let these words soak into the dry places. Let your mother's final message become the voice that wakes your heart up from years of quiet pain. You are loved, you are seen, you are still chosen. Your journey is not over, and your mother, wrapped in the light of God's glory, is closer than you think, not just to speak, but to stand beside you as you begin again, hand in hand with the one who never left. Not as a ghost, not from darkness, but from the presence of the living God, who is allowing her to speak for the sake of your healing, your release, and your return to peace. She is closer than you think, and the love she carries now is not limited by human understanding. It is pure, holy, and deeply aligned with God's desire for your restoration. There's no need to be afraid of what you're feeling. The tears, the softness in your chest, the stillness, these are signs that the Spirit of God is moving gently inside of you. These aren't just emotions. They are holy confirmations that heaven is with you, that you are being reached not by chance but by divine order. This is not a moment to dismiss, it is a moment to receive. What your mother has been trying to say isn't bound in long speeches or complicated messages. It is simple, it is clear, and it is urgent. She wants you to know that you are still deeply loved. She wants you to know that you are not forgotten. She wants you to believe again, not just in yourself, but in the God who formed you, carried you, and still has more for you. She is not weeping in heaven, she is not sad or broken anymore, but she sees the sadness in you, and her heart, full of God's light, is crying out for that sadness to be lifted, for that weight to be broken, for your soul to return to the joy it once knew, the kind that can only come from the presence of God. She remembers the sound of your laugh, the way your eyes lit up when you were excited, the strength in your spirit even when you felt weak. And now, with eyes full of heaven's clarity, she is telling you none of that has been lost. It is still inside you. It just needs space to rise again. She wants you to stop apologizing for who you are. Stop shrinking to fit into the world's boxes. Stop trying to prove your worth to people who never saw your full heart. You are enough because God has called you His. You are enough because Jesus gave His life for you. You are enough because no mistake, no heartbreak, no past moment can erase what God has spoken over your life. Your mother sees that now more clearly than she ever did before, and she is longing for you to walk in that truth, not just to hear it, but to feel it, live it, breathe it. The enemy has tried so hard to keep you stuck, to keep you numb, to convince you that healing wasn't possible. But right now, heaven is breaking that lie with truth. Your mother's message is full of that truth. You are not behind. You are not disqualified. You are not too broken to be made whole. You are right where you need to be for God to move, open, listening, and ready. If you can feel that in your spirit, even just a whisper of belief, type 1010 in the comments. Not for show, but as a sacred marker of your faith, a sign between you and heaven that your heart is saying yes. She is closer than you think, not bound by space, but permitted by the mercy of God to come near and remind you of your value. She is speaking with love that is stronger than death. She is speaking with eyes that now see how short life really is, how quickly the days pass, and how important it is to choose love, peace, and God above all else. She's not looking back with regret. She's looking at you with hope. You are the part of her that still walks the earth. You are the legacy she left behind, not in things, but in love. And her hope is that you won't waste another day carrying what you were never meant to bear. Let God take it. Let Him lift the burden. Let Him replace your fear with peace, your grief with hope, your sorrow with joy. He can do it. He wants to do it. And your mother, who is now part of the eternal, sees just how near that healing is. She is telling you that it's time to let the past be held by God. Time to stop punishing yourself for what you didn't know, couldn't change, or never said. Time to open your hands and release the pressure. God is not demanding perfection, He is offering presence. And His presence is everything. Your mother is not asking you to be strong anymore. She is asking you to let God be strong for you. She is not asking you to keep going without feeling. She is asking you to feel deeply again, to let yourself believe that joy is not gone forever, that peace is not out of reach, that God's promises still stand. This is what she has waited to say. This is what heaven has allowed her to deliver. A message not of sorrow, but of hope. Not of guilt, but of grace. Not of distance, but of nearness. Because the truth is, God has never left your side, even in the silence, even in the chaos, even in the moments when you felt completely alone. He was there. She sees it now. She wants you to see it too. You were never walking through the darkness by yourself. There were angels around you. There were prayers over you. There was grace carrying you forward when your own strength was gone. You've made it through things others don't even know you faced, and that's because heaven held you, even when you didn't know it. Your mother has seen it. She's thanking God for it. And now, she's asking you to step into the light. Is this the same CIA brain ritual changing lives in seconds? A new leak reveals a powerful 7-second technique developed under secret research. Backed by neuroscience, people are moving from debt to wealth and luxury faster than believed possible. But this secret may be deleted soon. Click the link in the comments before it disappears. You are not just surviving, you are being called to live again, to dream again, to smile without guilt, to laugh without heaviness, to love without fear. Your mother's heart is full of joy, and that joy is being poured out now as a blessing over your life. Receive it. Let it wash over you. Let it soften the hard places. Let it whisper to the broken parts of you that healing is here. The reason this message hasn't left your heart, the reason you can't look away or move on, is because your spirit knows this isn't just comforting words. This is truth. This is spiritual. This is heaven trying to reach the places in you that have been aching for more. The message from your mother, the nearness she brings, and the words she's longing to give you. They were never meant to pull you into grief, but to pull you into freedom. She is trying to say what she couldn't always find the words for while she was here. Not because she didn't want to, but because life often moves too fast and carries too much. But now, from eternity, she sees what truly matters. She sees how deeply you've needed to feel loved without limits, how much you've longed to feel safe again, how long you've been carrying pain that was never meant to stay. Her message is this: God has not let you go, not even for a moment. He's been chasing your heart through every storm, speaking in ways you didn't recognize, and now, through her voice, He is speaking again, gently, boldly, with perfect timing. He is using her love, her memory, her spirit, to draw you into a place of stillness where your heart can finally exhale, where you can stop pretending to be fine, where you can start healing from the inside out. You have held yourself together through so much. You have kept walking when your legs felt weak, kept loving when your heart felt empty, kept showing up when all you wanted to do was hide. She sees that now, and she wants you to know none of that went unnoticed. Not by her, not by God. You've shown a kind of courage that only heaven could measure. And now, you are being invited to rest in the arms of the one who has always been strong when you couldn't be. Your mother is not speaking to correct you. She is not here to bring up regrets. She is here to wrap you in the truth she now knows fully, that you are still a child of purpose, that God's hand is still over your life, and that the future you fear is already held in perfect peace. You do not need to fear what comes next. You only need to believe that you won't face it alone. If your heart agrees, if something inside you is beginning to believe again, comment 1515 to mark this moment with faith. Just that simple act might be the first door you open toward the healing that's waiting for you. She is closer than you think. Every time you feel that wave of warmth rush over you, every time a memory lights up your heart out of nowhere, that is part of her nearness, not to haunt, but to bless. Not to hold you in the past, but to bring you back to yourself, to who you really are, under all the pain, all the silence, all the pressure. She's not trying to take you back in time. She's trying to lead you forward in grace.